Hello, my friend. Welcome back to CEO Soapbox podcast and welcome to 2026. I hope you had an incredible holiday break, whether that meant spending time with family and friends, taking a well-deserved break, or just catching your breath after what was likely a year that had its highs and lows and moments that makes you go, what just happened? Because you got to be honest, that's life, right? As we step into this new year together, I want to take a moment to say how grateful I am that you are here. This podcast isn't just a platform for me to share ideas because let's be honest, I have so many of them. It's a space where we challenge the status quo, grow together, and push each other to be better leaders, better thinkers, and most importantly, better humans. 2025 may have been a year of wins, lessons, and even some tough calls. But here's the beauty of a new year. It's a blank page, and together we get to write the next chapter. So let's make it count. Let's make bold moves, take smart risks, and most importantly, let's keep showing up for ourselves and our teams. This year, I am committing to bring you the sharpest insight, the boldest ideas, and maybe sometimes the craziest, and the kind of conversation that makes you stop and think, damn, I needed to hear that. So let's dive in and kick off 2026 with purpose, clarity, and a little bit of fire. Without further ado, and because I know you've been waiting, let's dive right into episode number 11. Today, we're diving into the big trends set to define 2026 and taking a look at where I believe the world's most visionary leaders are actually putting their money. And this isn't your standard trends report filled with buzzwords and fluff. That's not it. This is about cutting through the noise to find the signals that actually matter for your bottom line. We're going to talk about where the smart money is going and more importantly, where it isn't. Now, before we get into the list, I want to hit you with a bit of a reality check. You hear a lot of gurus telling you that you need to adopt every new technology or pivot your entire strategy every 6 months or every year. And that's not what I'm going to tell you. By the way, I'm not considering myself a guru. What I'm going to tell you is exactly what I tell the leaders I work with. Not every trend is worth following. The smartest leaders aren't those who chase the hype, but those who have the wisdom to say no when it matters most. That's right. The skill of the future isn't accumulation, but it's curation. It's knowing what to ignore. So here's our roadmap for this episode. First, I'm going to break down the top 5 business trends that are actually worth your attention in 2026. Then we'll discuss how to spot real opportunities in the market without getting burnt. Then we're going to look at how AI, we're going to talk about this, and technology are reshaping the very definition of the leadership. And finally, we talk about overhyped nonsense you need to avoid. By the end, you have a clear understanding of the trends that matters in 2026, in my opinion, and how to think critically before which one to act on. Let's dive straight in. So what are the trends that are actually changing the business game in 2026? Here are my top 5. Trend number 1, the human premium. We have spent the last few years drowning in AI-generated content, chatbots, automation services. It's cheap, it's fast, and it's everywhere. But in 2026, the pendulum is swinging back hard. The luxury product of the future is human access. Smart businesses are realizing that if you want to charge premium prices, you need to offer a human experience. I'm talking about real account managers, the human ones, unscripted problem solving, and genuine connection. If you can prove that a human being crafted your product or service, that is now a competitive advantage, not an inefficiency. Trend number 2 I want you to look at is the rise of fractional workforce. We've seen fractional CFOs, COOs, and CMOs for a while. In 2026, this concept evolving even further. We're now seeing fractional departments. This is something I've always championed with the business leaders I work with. Companies are studying staying leaner for longer, bringing in high-level expertise for specific sprints rather than overloading their payroll with full-time hires. It's about agility. Why hire a full-time marketing manager who's jack of all trades but master of none when you can bring in a rockstar fractional marketing team for the same cost? They handle everything from strategy to execution without the overhead. It's a game changer for how businesses think about talent and efficiency. Now, trend number 3, small data over big data. For decades, we've been told to hoard data. But here's the problem: most companies have no idea what to do with all that data. It's just noise sitting there, taking up space and adding zero value. In 2026, the winners are focusing on small data. This is about actionable, specific insight that you can actually use today to make decisions. It's the kind of data that helps you predict how your quarter is progressing or why a particular product is flying off the shelves. Now, it's not about having more data. It's about having the right data. It's about understanding the why, not just the what. If you can't explain how the data point helps you make a decision, it's not an asset, it's a distraction. Delete it. Here's the thing. Small data isn't just easier to manage, it's also faster. While your competitors are drowning in dashboards and trying to make sense of 1 million data points, you're already making moves based on clear, simple to understand, and actionable insights now. It's quality over quantity. And in 2026, that's the edge smart leaders are betting on. Trend number 4, radical transparency in supply chains. Customers have stopped trusting marketing copy. They want receipts. They want to know exactly where the materials came from, who made them, where, and what they were paid. This isn't just for eco brands anymore. Even B2B buyers are demanding this too because they need to report on their own emissions. If your supply chain is a black box, you are going to lose contract in 2026. Transparency is the new trust, my friend. And the last trend, this is a big one, self-paced work culture. The return to the office mandates have mostly failed or settled into an unhappy compromise. Employees are pushing back, and the companies winning the talent war in 2026 are the ones mastering self-paced work culture. So what does that actually mean? It's about moving away from the outdated belief that work only happens in meetings or during set hours. Instead, it's about creating a culture of trust where documentations and clear written communications take center stage. This allows people to work when they're most productive, whether that's at 6 a.m. before the kids wake up or at midnight when the world is quiet. It's not easy to build. It requires leaders to rethink how they measure productivity and success. You can't rely on bums and seats anymore. You need to focus on outcomes, not hours. And here's the payoff. It scales better, it's easier to avoid burnout, and it attracts top talents who value autonomy over micromanagement. The companies nailing this are the ones who figured out the flexibility isn't a perk, it's a business strategy. They're investing in tools that make self-paced work seamless, like project management platforms, video updates instead of endless Zoom calls. They're also training their managers to lead with clarity and empathy because self-paced work only thrives when expectations are crystal clear. In 2026, Self-paced work culture isn't just a nice to have. It's your competitive advantage for your business. So those were my favorite 5 trends that, in my opinion, are worth watching out for in 2026. Now let's talk about spotting opportunities in your market. From what I've seen, a lot of leaders tend to make the same mistake. They start by focusing on technology. Sure, technology is important, don't get me wrong, but it shouldn't be their starting point when we're looking for opportunities in your market. To spot an opportunity in 2026, you need to look for friction. So what I mean by that is to identify the gap in your market. Where are your current or potential customers struggling? Where is their workflow feeling painful, sluggish, or overpriced? Once you find out those friction points, ask yourself, can your existing offer solve it? Or do you have the unique capability to build a new solution that will? Also, you can look at industries that have been resistant to change. Construction, healthcare, legal services are to name a few. These are the places where friction is high. If you can apply 2026 mindset, like that human premium or small data approach, to a legacy industry, you can dominate. Or maybe check out the emerging markets in green tech. The opportunity isn't just in the technology itself. It's in the infrastructure supporting it. Everyone wants to build electric cars. Smart leaders, though, are building the charging stations or the battery recycling plants. You also want to keep an eye on this market that I call boring market. Everyone wants to build the next sexy consumer app. But the real money is again in infrastructure. For example, remember I told you about the fractional workforce? So who's building the tools that help the fractional workforce operate? Or who's building the platform for supply chain transparency? Don't just look for the gold, look for the pick and shovel. This advice is as old as time. But trust me, it is still the truest thing in business. Now, we talk about spotting opportunity. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. AI, I know, we had to get to this. By now, the hype cycle has settled. We know AI isn't magic, but it's fundamentally changing the role of a leader. By the way, if you're still sitting on the fence about AI, you're already behind. You better start moving. So here's the shift in leadership with AI. Leadership is moving from creation to curation. In the past, the leader might have been valued for their ability to write the strategy documents or crunch the numbers. AI can do a decent job of that in seconds now. Your role as a leader is no longer to be the smartest person in the room who knows all the answers. How hard was that? So what is your job? What is your role now? Your role is judgment. Your job is taste. Your job is to look at the 3 options that AI gives you by going through your data and say, that one, that's the one that aligns with our values. Or that's the one that will serve our customers. Or that's the one will help us achieve our business goal. We are also seeing a massive premium placed on leaders who are emotionally intelligent. As AI handles the logical, repetitive task, like scheduling, data analysis, basic reporting, whatever the leaders used to do, the uniquely human stuff becomes more valuable now. Things like empathy, negotiation skills, conflict resolution skills, inspiring a team. If you're a leader who hides behind spreadsheet or dashboards, you are in trouble, my friend. But if you are kind of a leader who can walk into the room and instantly give the energy a makeover, congratulations. Your value just hit the record high. Technology should liberate you to be more human, not less. Use technology to get the grunt work off your plate so you can spend your time actually talking to your people and your customers. All right, we did talk about AI. So I want to talk about some overhyped trends and about what not to do. So every year there is a revolutionary trend that turns out to be a massive money pit. Remember when everyone bought virtual real estate in metaverse? Yeah, how's that working out? I'm trying to be sarcastic to the minds behind it, by the way, if you're listening. In 2026, watch out for total automation. That's something else. There's a lot of noise telling you that you can automate your entire business. Set it and forget it. That is bullshit, my friend. When you automate everything, you commoditize yourself. You become vanilla. You lose the nuance that makes your brand special. Automate back office, email marketing, absolutely. Automate the customer relationship. Proceed at your own risk. Also, I want you to be aware of tech-first solutions, people. If someone tries to sell you a solution and they can't explain the business problem it solves in one simple sentence, run away. If the pitch is about technology or the benefits, technology or the features, rather than the outcomes and a benefit, it's a hype. The best filter for noise is this question. Does this actually help my business? Or does this actually help my customers? Or does this actually help my team? Or does it just make me look cool to my peers? If it's a second question and answer to the second questions, save your money, walk away. All right, we covered a lot of ground today. We talked about the shift back to the human premium and the rise of fractional workforce. And if you can, I want you to consider it. Look into it. We discussed why small data beats big data and why transparency and self-paced work culture are winning. We looked at how to spot opportunities by hunting for friction, not just technology. We explored how AI is turning leaders into editors and curators, placing a higher value on emotional intelligence. And I warned you against the seduction of total automation and tech-first solutions. I want you to remember something before you go. The smartest leaders in 2026, my friend, won't be the ones who follow the hype. They'll be the ones who know when to say, no thanks. You don't need to do it all. You just need to do a few things that matter and do them exceptionally well. Thanks for hopping on the soapbox with me today. Always great to have your company up here with me. If anything I said resonated or made you go, interesting, go ahead and subscribe or share this with someone who enjoy it too. Want to keep the conversation going, or maybe you think I deserve a little friendly pushback? Either way, let's connect. You can find me on LinkedIn. Just search for Neda Farzad, and that's Neda Farzad, or Instagram and Facebook under Neda Farzad Official. Wishing you an amazing week ahead. Until next time, stay curious and stay kind. Bye for now.